Hello everybody and welcome back to Lost Skies. This is going to be island number 5, I do believe. Let me actually double check that because sometimes I lose track of things. This is going to be island number 5 and it's called The Spine. There are 5 databanks here. No record on the map, at least, of large chests, but this is the map that we're going to be doing today. Before we get into that, though, as you can see, if you actually have been following the playthrough and not just randomly stumbling across these videos, we're in a different character. This is actually my main character. I decided to switch back to him because it occurred to me that if we go through the maps again with a character that we're not going to take into the future, then all of the recipes that he finds are going to be lost. And this character won't have the benefit of those recipes that we found during that playthrough. And because some of these recipes are really hard to find, they just don't drop very often, it just, as much as it's, I want to do a genuine playthrough with a brand new character, I would rather go back through all of this again and increase the chances that this main character that I plan on taking into the future is going to have all of the stuff that he can possibly have. So that's why I've decided we're going to go ahead and take this character into the future, and because we're using this character, we're going to actually use his ship as well, which is my main ship. So before we get into the actual playthrough of this island here, I just want to do a quick walkthrough of my combat catamaran that I basically made, because I want to go through the quick little brief of why this is what it is, and a little bit of a tour. So I've been looking for ways to kind of protect my engines as much as I can, and it occurred to me that a catamaran style design where with a hull on either side would put at least the majority of my engines in the middle here and make it so that I at least have some protection for the primary driver of my ship. So I basically did 2 sections in the middle with another section on either side, and then made it so you can go down into each section like you would a normal catamaran. And then the engines, as you can see, actually, let me swap over here to this. The engines, as you can see, are primarily crammed into the middle in between the 2 sections here. And then obviously I didn't have enough room to do all the way forward to put 8 in the bottom, so I just kind of had to suck it up and put these on the outside. But I did my best to kind of block them as best I could with things like rudders and wings and things like that. So ideally, our propulsion system on this ship is going to be highly defended. And then, this is actually about the same amount of coverage that the half walls here would give me anyway, so I figure this is probably pretty decent there. And then my machine guns are almost exclusively just for looking around when I need to see things, because this gives me a nice decent view of being able to look straight down when I need to look at things and I'm getting kind of close to stuff. So that's my philosophy on this particular ship. I basically just put everything, all my crafting stuff down here, and all of my storage is up here, my core is up here, with enough space so that when I respawn, if I spawn forward instead of closer to the core, I don't spawn into that. And yeah, there was a lot of careful thought of just trying to make it to where this was as close to what I'm looking for as possible. Now, unfortunately, this particular ship isn't the fastest ship that I could probably make because it has so much weight and there's so much on it. But 30 knots compared to the fastest ship I'm able to get right now is like a 3-section ship with like 5 or 6 engines on it, and that gets up to around 50. So I mean that's a significant jump, but it's not it's not a humongous crazy jump. I mean, it's almost twice the speed, but you know what I mean? You're having to sacrifice a lot to get to that. And so I feel like 30 knots is probably pretty decent. So now we're going to get into the actual playthrough of this island. What I typically do is there's a big shipwreck over there towards the middle of all of this. I typically head over there first, and then there's another shipwreck, I believe, down. I believe the one down towards the bottom on another island has a core on it as well. And then the other cores are located throughout a couple of hidden places on the island. I don't think I know where all of them are, and that's why this playthrough is called mostly a walkthrough, because I don't necessarily know 100% where all the cores are. But because we don't really need to worry about getting all the cores, I mean, unless you're a completionist, you're gonna find way more cores than you actually need, with regard to what recipes are available from the Ark. Now, my understanding is that, you know, as early access continues, they're going to release more things that you can learn, and then new sections will come out. But I have a feeling that, well, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to do new nations or not. There are other nations out there, obviously, from the different backgrounds, lineages that you can pick from. And I'm not sure if the Midlands region that they're eventually supposed to be coming out with is going to be a new nation, like if it's going to be a different nation, or if it's going to be another part of Sabor, or what. So we already found that one. I can't scan them because I've already found them, but we will go ahead and locate them so that you can see. So there's one in here in the bottom part of the ship. And then, obviously, the main purpose for this character going through all of this stuff is going to be to open chests to hopefully find new recipes that I haven't found for this character. So we'll go ahead and grab these chests as much as we can. For the most part, it's just going to be grabbing Saborian tech trees because, you know, these early easy areas aren't really going to provide anything particularly new. So, once we get this one, we can kind of head out of here. And then there's another wreck at the bottom of one of these. Oh, there's another one down in there, so we'll head over there in a second. Almost screwed that one up. All right. So, I don't remember. There's one, I think it's down back. I think it's back down towards the bottom of an island over in this direction. I can't quite remember, but that is definitely. So there's one here. There's one down in one of the wrecks at the bottom. And then there's another one over there in that opening that we saw. So we'll have to go back around over there to figure that out. Let's see. It'd be nice if I could actually see around this island. I just don't want to run into anything. Yeah, that wreck down there, I'm pretty sure had... Oops. The problem with taking your ship around in here is you're going to run into things, especially if you have a big ship like mine. So I'm pretty sure, excuse me, I'm pretty sure that there's a core down here. There's another wreck very similar to that up in that direction. I don't believe that one has a core in it. It might have a chest, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't have a core. So we'll head down to here and hop into the ship. This one might just have a chest. I can't remember. I visited it several times and I always feel like it has something there. It might just be a chest, but I can't remember off the top of my head. So we'll go check it out really quick. And then after that, we can head over to the other area down below over there that we saw. That one. So these are, you know, kind of the obvious ones that you can kind of get to. So, all right, that should be close enough. Hop around this way. I think I can hear it. I think it might be at the bottom. Okay, there it is. So it's in here. You can get into it from the top, I believe. I can get up here. Climb inside, I think. I gotta remember how to get in there. Oh, here we go. There's a cargo hold in here. You hop down into here, and there's your core. And then, so that's 2 out of the 5 that are supposed to be here. So let's do one of these things here. And then we can get back to the ship. And then we can head over that direction. So let's go ahead and do one of these things here. Make sure we don't crash into anything. And then there's an anti-aircraft cannon over there. So you want to be a little bit careful when you're going around here. Ideally, because there's an entrance around the other side that you're going to want to get to. So ideally, by the time this thing activates and starts tracking towards us, we'll already be mostly all the way around to the other side of it. So I wouldn't worry about it that much, especially if you have a reasonably fast ship. But just understand that right there is an anti-aircraft turret, and it will start to attack you once you get close enough. So don't park yourself right over here in the open where it can just blast you to bits. That's not something that you really want to happen. So he's probably going to activate. He might not. I think I'm outside of his field of fire there, so I guess he's just going to kind of sit there. That is an active anti-aircraft turret. If you need a heavy power core for your advanced generator, this is one place you can come to go do that. Unfortunately, though, you want to try to find when you're looking for advanced power cores, you want to try to when you're looking for heavy power cores, you want to try to find anti-aircraft guns that are gonna... Sorry, I gotta pay attention to this real quick. You want to try to find anti-aircraft guns that are gonna give you, that are gonna have them drop on the ground, because if they're really close to an edge like that one is, a lot of times it can like arc away from it and then fall down. So, alright, so that's core number 3. So you gotta be really careful when you're farming certain things, because the nature of this game makes it so that if it falls down into the abyss, you're not getting what you worked really hard to get. So, yeah. Now, I will say that if you get denied ascension, the sniper rifle in this game, it can take these anti-aircraft turrets out in 3 hits. So you can park your ship, and generally by the time it tracks to you, you can have already taken it out before it even takes a real, serious shot at you. So if you can find denied ascension and upgrade it all the way, it's a very good way to farm the heavy power cores for the advanced generator. All right, get over here. So that's 3 out of 5, and then the last ones that we're looking for are going to be in a kind of secret hidden... I don't want to say it's a secret hidden area, but there's a little like inside this big pillar over here. There's a couple of entryways that you can go into that allow you to go through a kind of a maze puzzle kind of thing. It's actually kind of a pain in the butt to deal with. So if you're not interested in having to work your way up through a platform section, that is actually kind of difficult, because it's made up of pretty much exclusively the green glowing walls that you can't really hook onto very well, and so it can be a massive pain to deal with. I need to give myself a little bit of maneuvering room here to kind of get over these vines that are going across, but. Just gotta find it. Is it? Oh, no, it's that one there. So you can see there's an opening there. There's another opening down here. I don't remember how to open the bottom door there. There is another entrance, and you can open that door. But this one up here, I believe, has a switch that you can just pull to open it. And both of these take you into the same place. They just take you into different levels of it. So, if I remember correctly, we can get up to here, and then there should be a switch, I think, on top of the pillar there. So we'll let our ship go a little bit higher, and then we'll try to make our way through this thing here. So that's the door. Oops, that's the doorway we want to go. Okay, seriously, get on the thing. Thank you. Am I? I think that's as high as we're going to be able to get. Let's we'll go back down to let us level out. The ship's too big to kind of maneuver into that. So we'll go up. Oops, or not. The problem with the way that this game works sometimes is that the third-person view makes it very difficult to see where you are sometimes. All right. So I believe, yeah, there's a switch right here, and I'm pretty sure that opens the door, but I may be incorrect. But yeah, there's a place in here we can go. Oh, no, it does not open the door. I don't think that there are any drones that we need to get here. Maybe it opened up the bottom one. It's entirely possible it opened up the bottom. Nope, it didn't open up the bottom. But we can get in from here, I guess. Okay. I mean, that's one way to bypass it. I don't remember exactly how to open the doors. And I don't really feel like doing a complete search of the island if I can just kind of get in through here. But both of these take you to the same spot. There's another entrance up there that you can get to. So we'll actually go up here now because... So that's the doorway for the middle upper section that we saw. If you want to search around for the mechanism that opens the door, you can do that. But the primary thing is you're just trying to get into here because we need to get up to the top, because there's a big chest up there, and there is another data core towards the top. So we'll go ahead and take the easy method of taking the stairs up here, and then I'm going to remember where we go next. So ideally, you want to try to just get yourself up there. Now the problem is you got to be super careful about... You could, theoretically, if you could get the timing perfect, you could just climb yourself up the wall, if you could figure out, like, going back and forth and getting the timing right. Because if you disconnect just at the right moment, you can get some decent momentum, and it won't time out your grappling hook. That's very difficult to do, though, so I don't typically try to do that. You more or less just kind of want to find places where you can easily just kind of do like that. I didn't expect to get another hit out of that, but that's all right. And then just look for a platform. Just look for another platform that you can get up to where you are. But this one, we go over this way. Oh yeah, I think maybe these open the doors, but I don't remember. So we want to go. I think we want to go. I always have to figure this. I think we go over here, and then I think we might want to go there. But this might be one of those things where we have to double tap it. If I can, if the time, you have to get the timing like really perfect, and then that happens. So yeah, but fortunately, I think we fell on a platform that actually doesn't screw us up too much. So let's. All right, let's try that again. Okay, and then. Get over here, and then all right, that gets us up there. So yeah, you can climb the walls, but you have to have the timing really good. I don't think I want to risk trying to jump and then I end up, because it's probably really thin and you'll fall over the side. So I think the best way to do this one is just to kind of do the same thing again and just get up on this platform. And then we got some stairs over here. There's probably a much more efficient way to do this, and if somebody has spent the time trying to like memorize this area, then they probably have a better, more efficient path. I don't try to do stuff like that. I just do the best I can to get through it as quickly as possible. So I think we can just climb up on this one, and probably climb. I thought we were gonna be able to climb up on that one. Let's see. Let's try running and see. That'll work. Ooh. That's the problem with the third-person camera, is that certain angles make it very difficult to know where you need to stop. So just be careful when you're going through this. I don't think... So that up there, I think, is where the chest is. We could probably get up here like that. There you go. All right, so this is the big chest over here, and then the actual data core, the actual data bank is over on the same level, but in a different direction. Okay, so we've already got clear reticence and the other thing that was over there, and then I believe that the data core is over this direction. So let's hop over this way, or we could fall and almost die. Let me eat some food really. Oh, let me eat this one. Let me eat some food really quick to try to heal up. Give ourselves a little bit more stamina as well. All right, so that's the data core. You'll be able to... Oh, am I stuck? There we go. So yeah, this is the data core here. I don't recall where data core number 5 is. I've probably been to it and I just don't remember. But I just don't recall. But to get back out of here, if you figured out how to open up the other doors, then all you have to do is just go through the door. I don't know if we did, or I don't know if we did or not. All right, come on, let me out. All right, there we go. So yeah, we didn't open up that door. Let's see if the switch we did opened up this door. Nope, didn't open up that door. So you can just go back out the same way you came in. It's not that big of a deal. Then... Alright, cool. And then we get back to our ship, which for some reason is not giving me the portal, so that's annoying, but fortunately, this ship is relatively easy to just kind of get onto. So, that's that. Now, like I said, I don't recall exactly where... I don't recall where the other one is. It might be in, like, a cave somewhere. But to be perfectly honest with you, as I've said, I'm not really trying to show you all of them because I don't even know where all of them is. And in some of the islands, I don't even know how to solve some of the puzzles on some of the islands. So I'm mostly just trying to help you find some of the ones that maybe you're not quite able to get, or you just don't have the patience to figure it out. So anyways, yeah. Let me see if I can get out of here. The next island that we're going to be doing is going to be island number 6, which is directly to the southeast of here. So I'm going to start heading off in that direction, but that's going to go ahead and be it for today's video. Hopefully you guys had lots of fun and got something out of it. If you did, be sure to click that like button, subscribe to help us reach 10,000 subscribers, join as a member for early access to videos, among other perks. Or you can just leave YouTube's version of a tip with the thanks button. I also have PayPal and Patreon links for those of you who prefer to go that route, because some people do like to go outside of YouTube to help out with channels. So again, thank you very much for your time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to come back for the next one, and I'll see you.